I thought perhaps you would be too. It is April 21 of 24. Time is flying, summer's coming. So who wants a reading? Who wants to play with me today? The first thing I'm going to mention is that spring is always filled with lots of new opportunities. Outside where I live here in Tennessee, it's like a whole new world. Seriously, just 2 months ago, it was all brown and dormant here. And it's really easy to forget when something's in dormancy that it's not dead. It's just in a waiting period. So one of the things that happens for me when in my world, when people come for readings, is they want to understand why they have to wait so long. Usually it's in the area of love or money. So today I brought my new deck. We're going to do a reading right now for the collective on the idea of this waiting game that seems like we have to do. And y'all know that I love Abraham Hicks, and they sometimes say, Abraham, I think you're just trying to talk us into having peace of mind all the time and having so much joy that we don't care if the thing comes or not. And they laugh and say, yes, that's completely true, but that's only because when you get the thing you're wanting, the next thing that happens is that you're asking for something else. And so that's completely true for us, isn't it? So let's draw a card for the collective here. What is it that the universe has for us when it comes to waiting for what we desire? And ironically, we have the World card. Hello. The first thing that I noticed back there is that storm cloud and the breaking through to something new. And so there's no question that today, on 4/21, as you're hearing my voice, you may have never heard of me before. I'm Catherine, and I do love fish out of water. I love neurodivergency. I love meeting people who do not fit. And so I love this for today's reading because this is someone who's packing up to move forward. Nothing holding them back. And so that's true for us today. So if you would like to have a card pulled, it's super easy. You just drop me a comment in the stream and I would be more than happy to pull a card for you. If you have a question and you want to ask that question, you can put it in the comment. And also, I appreciate any thumbs up. Of course, I'm kind of a rookie at the lives and not sure quite how it all works for making sure that people find this reading who could use a card, right? So at any rate, let me just draw a card here for the collective. What are we waiting for? What's the message with this new world that's coming? And we have the Witch of Earth. I love that. It immediately makes me think of witch, W-H-I-C-H. Think about that. Witch. Which dream is it that has your priority right now? I see Preeti is here. Hi, Preeti. I see you. I would love to draw a card for you. So this particular card, though, I believe is calling everyone to question themselves. Are you too scattered? Which dream is it that needs your focus? Some people say, I should be able to manifest however many things I want. And I kind of hear them. But then I will make them, I'll bring a picture of the Olympics, the Olympic sports. And so what that says to me is that if you wanted to compete in 3 different events in the Olympics, you could. But when would you sleep? When would you eat? You would have to train constantly. And that's very similar to what happens with manifesting. If you have too many things on your list, it can be so cumbersome to keep yourself in peace of mind about all of them. Okay? So Preeti, I see you in there. And right now, I just need to collect myself here and see. Hold on just for a quick second so that I can check my systems. And I appreciate that. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for your patience, my friends. I just have to make sure I can see all your comments. I don't want to miss any. It's ironic because here I am in Tennessee, and the internet here is a little bit slow. And I just got home, well, a little while ago. I spent 4 years living in Mexico, and the internet was very slow over there too. So thank you for hanging in there with me. I'm having a little bit of trouble seeing the comments, but I will be able to see them shortly. And so I noticed that someone had some question in there about their mom. And so I can't see your question now, but I did see that you asked about your mom. So I want to pull a card for you, and I should be able to see better here shortly. And so we have the wheel of life. Okay, not being able to see the question and just answering what your concerns are about your mom. I would say that there's a lot that you don't understand. There's a lot that none of us understand about our parents and the journey that they're taking. So in this wheel of life, the wheel of life goes with the wheel of fortune, which is a lucky card. It is also a card of changes, and it's a card of cycles. And it can be really difficult if people hang on to only one vision of something. If you hang on to only one vision about anything, it can feel like you're in a straitjacket. And I look at that spider web, how easy it is to get caught in a web. So I would say when it comes to your mom, what you want to remember is that she has her own journey, and that it is a really good idea to pray for and support, and to use this time to analyze what it is that is the highest good for her, even if that's separate from you. Okay? So thank you for asking that question about your mom. I did see, let me hang on for just a second and just see if I can get to my technology issues. Thank you for being patient, everybody. Okay. Okay. If you know what, those of you who are watching, thank you so much for hanging in there with me while I try to get my systems going. If y'all could hit thumbs up, I'd love to know if that part is working. And we have several people on now. There's no thumbs up showing up, so I don't know if YouTube's having an issue, if I'm having an issue. So if you could hit the thumbs up, and just that's your way of saying, hey, Catherine, how are you doing today? That will help me. Okay. So now I'm seeing that there was a no contact request coming forward here. And let's see. Okay, hold on. Okay, it does look like. Okay, let's go forward. Thank you. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's some thumbs ups out there. Okay, good. I'm just gonna go forward and do the best I can, even though I'm struggling a little bit with my technology. Thank you for being patient. All right, so we had something about a no contact in there, I'm pretty sure. So if you ask me a question about no contact, okay. Okay, we are looking, oh gosh, I love this card for you. If anybody watching is having a no contact situation where somebody is not supposed to be contacting you, and you are, they won't honor that, there's something called gray rocking. Okay, I never heard about this until it ended up that there I'm coming into place there. I never heard about this until I happened to have the misfortune of being married to a person with narcissistic tendencies. And I could not, for the life of me, I could never express myself. There would always be a twist. There would always be a way to drag me into a fight, even though I didn't want to fight. I totally wanted to be objective and be able to not be so engaged. But there was something called gray rocking, and no kidding, gray rock. You can Google it. And what it means is that you hold the energy of a gray rock when you're with your narcissist. Murphy. No. Sorry about that, you guys. But anyway, gray rocks have no color. They're boring. There's zero energy. They are the signal of neutrality. So if a no contact is happening, your best bet is to hold yourself in gray rock energy. People who like to throw drama on other people will completely use that against people who are soft-hearted and empathetic. So learning how to detach and keeping peace of mind at your center, that's exactly what will heal everything about the situation. There's a scripture that says, let the peace of the Lord be your governor. And I love that, because if something doesn't bring you peace, then you need to let it go. And in no contact, I had, in fact, the story of my even doing my tarot channel comes because I had someone, oh, I can see, finally, I can see my contacts. Thank you. But I had a no contact person that I did divorce eventually. And on Christmas Day of 2021, he contacted me, and inappropriate email. And I was so upset. It just tried to steal the joy of my Christmas. And I was like, no way. I don't want that to happen. So I went to YouTube and put out my first reading, Christmas Day of 2021, and the rest is history. But anyway, so now I can see the comments. Okay, we have Sabrina. Hi, Sabrina. Dwight is here. There's my no contact person. Okay. So Dwight, if I don't know which end of the no contact that you're on, if you are the person that they don't want to see, then the gray rock for you is a signal that you need to focus your energy somewhere else, okay? Because focusing on the person is not helping. This is a time when a private reading can be, very helpful. So my contact information is in the description box. So do write to me if you need to have some support. Hey, Sandra, welcome. Angelique, Peaches, Sandra Gruber, you're back. Yay. Okay, good deal. So, Angelique, you said my friend's mom passed away, and I found him. I've been looking for 27 years. Oh, wow. Wow, that's really something. It's an angel. Yes, that is a phenomenal thing. I'm sensing that I wanted to draw a card for what message that mom might want to say to the situation. So let's do that. It's like wonderful. What a reunion story. And we have offering. Wow. It's true, isn't it, that sometimes when things are buried after someone passes, sometimes there's a memorial. Sometimes people actually plant trees. It's a memorial. But what this strikes me is that the son, this was a very profound passing, and the mom's love for that son is continuing. Look at how the water he's pouring out is just covering such a broad territory. So it does look like this was a reconnection that really will be quite healing for that young man. So, Sandra, thank you, Peaches, for thumbs upping. Let's just draw a card for Peaches. Peaches, what is it that the universe has for you? I call these energy selfies for what the universe might be wanting for you to know. And a message is a messenger of earth. It seems like, Peaches, that you have been, you felt like you were out in the cold, Miss Peaches. There's somebody in your life who's kind of been a little bit standoffish. They're not giving you attention. And you have been doing a good job of turning away from them. But what you don't know is they can't stop thinking about you. All right. And it's going to be very soon that you're going to have a surprise message from this person. If you don't know exactly who this is, what I suggest is sitting down quietly, close your eyes, and just think about who has come to your mind a lot in the last 2 to 3 weeks. Who has come to your mind a lot? Chances are that that's a person that does really want to reconnect with you at some level. Okay, let's take a peek at who's next. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh my gosh, Peaches, you are welcome. And thank you for those of you who are concerned about my soul. I thank you so much. I love when people pray for me because I believe in the power of prayer. And I also know in the years that I was teaching Bible study myself that religion is a great way for a lot of people until it's not. And then many of us spring forward into different spiritual growth. But it's like if Jesus leads you somewhere that you're thinking, what? Why would Jesus lead me here? And then you walk out what you're called to do. But anyway, thank you for your love and concern. So now we have Sandra. There's a friend that you have not heard. Okay, Sandra, what is it you need to know about this friend? Will they reach out? For those of you who are enjoying these readings, please do hit the thumbs up. It means the world to me. It also shows YouTube that this reading is going on and it brings more people in for questions. So thank you so much. Okay, let's take a peek here. Where are we? We are with Sandra. Okay, Sandra, let's see what we, whoops. Sandra, your card is so red hot, it jumped right out of my hands. 8 of Fire. All right. Okay. I love these monkeys here. So immediately I wonder, is this a friend of yours who brought you a lot of laughter, that you really enjoyed their company a lot, and that you miss that? Because monkeys are full of fun. Monkeys are also a community animal. If you ever go to the zoo and get to watch Monkey Island, I used to love to do that because they're always playing. So this is a playful, powerful energy. Sandra, would you like to do an experiment, a manifesting experiment? What I recommend is you write yourself a thank you note from your friend and write about how much fun you had, when you were with them in the past, and write from her or him to you, raving about how much fun you had and how they can't wait to see you again. There's something called scripting, and there's a lovely woman. Her website is called Life by Lucie, Lucie, and she teaches the best techniques. Plus, she has a beautiful voice. I listened to one of her manifestation meditations in the shower this morning. No kidding. It was so lovely to listen to her voice as I took my shower. So do check her out. She teaches a lot about that scripting. And Sandra, I know you have my email address, so please email me and let me know how that's working. Okay, hi Dwight, I see you. What are the lottery numbers for next weekend? I love that, Tracy. I don't do that. I have significant intuitive skills, but picking lottery numbers, not so much. However, my favorite lottery picking method is in fortune cookies because they always put lottery numbers in there. Okay, who do we have here? Rose, hi Rose. Let's see here, anybody? Oh, you're welcome, Peaches. I appreciate that, girl. Okay. All right. Okay, so it looks like Rose, your beautiful presence here on the channel, and in support of you, I'm going to do an energy selfie. So let me just draw a card. See, what is it the universe has for Rose? Oh, I love this card. The Ace of Air. There is something, I think this is good for all of us. Many people will come to these readings and they will say, that's so odd. All of these cards resonate with something going on in my life. Well, it's not an accident. Birds of a feather flock together. And so it's not a surprise when people come through with similar needs. But look at this beautiful harp. Look what it's made out of. Bones. And for me, when you decide that you're going to tell a new story about your life, when you decide that you don't want to be a victim anymore, that you're done, being a victim is no more, you take the bones of your old relationships and you build on them. There's a website that's called Breakup Candy. I happen to know the owner of Breakup Candy, happens to be me. Because I believe you have to find something positive in your ex before you're ever going to be able to be free, because it takes two to tango. So we do actually use the bones of our past to build the bridge to the future. So as you are looking at this and considering it, Just think back when it comes to your exes. Do you have heartbreak? Are you angry? Are you hurt? All those are simply energies, just like light switches. They can be turned on and off. I use tapping and other energy tools to help people detach from past love. And if that's an issue that you're facing, please check the contact information and shoot me a message. And I'd be happy to support you. And so now, what do we have here? Da, 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 da. Okay. Interesting questions. I love that. And Peaches, thank you. You're so kind, and I received those compliments and blessings for sure. And thank you for being here in this live, because there's nothing I feel like the cards are my soulmate. I am just intrigued and adore the stories they tell. So April, was your Gemini, was the family member Gemini the reason for your friend asking for money? Oh my goodness. Okay, so with a question like that, part of me would always want to say, why is it that you would want to, why is that important to know? Okay, because in the desire to keep well-being, where you really want to have peace in your own heart, to ask information about something that happened in the past with specific people might not be to anybody's well-being. Okay, so with that question, if I were going to if I were going to help you create a better question for it, or a question that would fit with the way I do readings, I would say, is there anything I need to know about this current situation with this family member, or something like that? So if you want to have some guidance about the family member, it's very important. Okay, was it my family member? See, I what I can do is, here you go, email me, okay? Because I would explain to you more about why and what's going on here, but it's not something I would do in the public, okay? So, and thank you for being here, but I'm just careful about certain questions, and my email is in the description. Feel free to email me, and then I can explain more. Okay, let's see. A job offer. Oh, that's, thank you so much, Somya, because that's the kind of question that really fits with where I'm understanding the cards for today's reading. So let's see, will a job offer come in the next month or longer? So let's take a look. Okay. Ooh, Ace of Earth. It looks like the job offer is being very well protected. This kind of reminds me of an egg. It's opening. It's like a purse is opening and an egg is hatching. With the Ace of Earth, it is definitely a sign of prosperity, but it also is a sign of new growth. So I feel like with all this blossoming that I'm seeing on this card, it does look like an offer would be coming sooner more than later. Okay, so one of my favorite methods, and again, I watch a lot of manifesting teachers and a lot of teaching about scripting. And what I love to do is to write thank you notes to myself from other people. So one of the things that you could do, Somya, is write yourself thank you notes from your new job. They're writing, "Dear Somya, we are so grateful that you're our employee. Ever since you came, the company has been operating so much better," etc. Okay, so even if you are not sure where the offer might come from, by putting into script thank you notes from the company that hired you, it just creates some cool energy around that. Be sure to email me and let me know how that works out for you, okay? Excelente. Thank you guys. Thanks to everybody for being here. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me. And so, again, April, oh gosh, it's hard when you have a family member or a friend who acts badly. Sometimes you say they're acting out. They're acting out not for the good of anyone. And so, again, it's just something that, unless I know more about the circumstance, I don't want to pull that. Okay, so thank you. And for allowing me to be direct. I am a double Scorpio, and so I see things clearly and say it like it is. Okay, so we are at, let's see, where am I? Hi, Brismont, hola. Okay, and Marco, it looks to me like you need a word of encouragement because you're feeling like there's obviously there's some pain involved there and about your work life. So let's draw a card and see what the universe has for you when it comes to your work life. Okay, it shows me that this is an embryo. Okay, so embryo, it is a tiny, tiny spark of life. So there is something inside of you, Marco, that you don't know about yet. There is a talent or a skill that is going to come as a surprise. One of the things about needing to hustle, like when you are in a position where there's not much money and you have to hustle, you end up looking for people who need help. People who are well off need to have help. They need to have people walk their dogs. They need to have their grass cut. They need to have their errands run. There are so many employment opportunities available serving the people who have a lot of money. And so there's something within you that you can do to create revenue. There's no question about it. The first thing to do is write a list of all the jobs that you've had ever since you were a little kid. What did you do? And see if you can find some clues in there about some skills you could use right now. I know in my area, there are people who need to move things. They need to haul things from one place to another. And there's always ads in our local paper for people to help with moving. So I'm just saying it that way. It might not be your dream job, but there's something inside of you that you can do. Okay. Thank you, Marco. Alrighty, let's go to, all right, let me go down. And we're talking to, we have Sunita. Hi, Sunita. Time period for Canada work permit. Okay, let's see what the cards have. Anybody else? What time do I have here? I'm definitely going to hang out for a while. So if you're here just watching and you have a question, let me know what it is. I'd be happy to draw a card for you. Okay, Sunita, let's see. Craftsman of water. Craftsman of water. Well, what I'm seeing here is that being stuck for you to not know your answer is not easy. It's, have you ever heard that saying that's called between a rock and a hard place? This is what this is indicating to me. It takes so much trust to believe that the systems will work out the way they're supposed to work out. And you can feel like stripped to the bones because you feel you need to know. So, the first thing that I am going to encourage you to do is there's a man named Michael Singer, okay? And he's got a lot of YouTubes out there, Michael Singer. He talks about letting go and the power of how to have peace of mind when you're waiting. And I really admire and recommend him all the time. It looks like everything's processing as it should. There's a craftsman here, which is the promise of things well done. So if there's nothing that you can do to advance the process right now, the best thing is to turn your back away from it. Again, you can use the scripting. I'm doing a lot of scripting advising today, but if you can write an email to yourself, you can write an email to a relative or close friend, and you don't have to email it. You can just keep it, use it as a draft or send it to yourself, where you can write congratulations letters to yourself. I'm so happy for you, Sunita. Your work permit, your work visa has come through. It's wonderful. Congratulations. And when you write emails to yourself like that, you actually create a pathway in your mind to start believing for it. Now, why does this stuff work? I cannot tell you, but it brings me great comfort and joy to learn how to release these things. Okay, so Michael Singer, make sure that you check that out. Whoops, wrong pile. Okay, anybody else? Any comments or questions about manifesting love or money? What I can do here while there's a pause is I can let me draw a card for what we can expect in the last, today's the 21st. We have um, a week, and what's going to be happening through the end of April. What would be our best piece of wisdom toward the end of April and beginning of May? Nice. Ooh, I love this. Oh, this is a special card. I drew this earlier today, actually. So the fact that it's showing up again, I'm very excited because when I look at this crow trying to grab that hat off of the woman's head, and then this is the card of initiation. I know for sure that in May, more and more people are going to want to start telling a new story about their life, a new narrative, to try to figure out why they're waiting. Is there a way to say things differently? Can we get rid of some negative thoughts? Can we get rid of some nagging doubts? Can we get rid of the anger and frustration we have about the people that have hurt us in the past? Look at the size of that suitcase, okay? That suitcase is filled with crapola, okay, otherwise known as junk. And so as you walk forward into the May and the rest of summer, what parts of your story are just simply not serving you anymore, right? What parts of your story have zero purpose and they're not serving you? Wash your hands, wash your face, turn away from what you used to tell about your own life story, and we can do something else. Okay, cool reading, and I'm receiving that for myself. Okay, will I win the lottery and become a millionaire? Well, why would you want to limit the universe like that? Isn't that an interesting take? Why would you just want to be a single millionaire? Why not a gazillionaire? I love that. I love that question, and it is something that seems like an easy way to have a big chunk of money that lands on you. And I'm going to draw you a card about it. But what I would do is Google, YouTube, the life or what happens to people after they win the lottery. And some of them it's funny, some of them it's sad, but a lot of times when people come into a sudden bunch of money like that, it can cause problems because they're just not used to it. They don't even know how to handle it. But let's ask. Yes, Afridi, as long as, yeah, you can go ahead and ask a question. I'd be happy to pull a card for you. And N, let's see what the card is, all shuffled and prepped before I started the reading. This is your fated card. Let's see what it says. Is N going to, well, N, will you please send me a tip if you win the million? I hope it's a yes. Let's take a look. Oh, the sun. I love this. You know what? You're a really generous person, aren't you, N? This is very interesting. I have the sense that the very first thing you would do if you won the lottery is take your friends on a trip or something. There's some really great energy about you, but this is the sun that's showing that this is a positive answer. I did read somebody's report just the other day that they did win in the lottery, but they won one of the more minor prizes, so it wasn't the top prize. So I would say I would buy a ticket if I were you, because this is a very positive sign. But I would also ask you to consider, what is it in you that's under leveraged right now? Your sense of humor and your sense of style and how you treat your friends are all important. So there's something very cool coming your way. In. Okay, so Afridi, do you have a question? You can answer right away. Peaches, I love that I love that. And being able to say, you know what, I have an affirmation that I love, and I would love to say it to you. It just occurred to me the other day because sometimes we have stumbling blocks. Like when you say out loud, um, I will be the first multimillionaire in my family, there are words within that that have booby traps in them. They can kind of snatch your energy. So this is one that I developed, and I can't remember it exactly. I'm not reading it, but it sounds something like, hold on. I love having enough money to cover all of my expenses easily and plenty of extra to spend on myself and my friends. Let me say that again. I love saying it. See, if I say I will be the first multimillionaire in my family, it feels stiff to me. It feels wishful thinking. But if I say, and I love starting my affirmations with I love, just because that's Catherine's style. But I love having more than enough money to cover all my expenses easily and plenty left over to spend on myself and my friends. Sometimes I add the charity thing because I do want to give. Thank you, Ann. Oh, I'll be counting on it. Anyway, but I like to give the universe leeway. I like to generalize the affirmation so that it feels really good. I love the sound of it, but then it doesn't try to make me bossy. Because sometimes if I feel like I'm trying to boss the universe into doing something for me, that goes against like my Catholic life and my Christian life, because you can't boss God around. But if I can state an affirmation that makes me feel yummy and opens doors for who cares what, honestly, if I would win the lottery, outstanding. But if I would have money come some other way, let me give you an example, quick tip, quick, it totally manifested reports. Some of you may not know that I got mentioned in a book. I did not plan on being in the book. The book is called Thank and Grow Rich by Pam Grout. She somehow picked my email from the hundreds and thousands that she gets because I read her book E Squared. And E Squared is like one of my all-time favorite books. I love it. And E Squared is just concrete experiments you can do for manifesting. And so I did that, and I had such fun results. I wrote a letter to the author and said an email and said, thank you so much. You never know what's going to happen with the email. And so she contacted me, and I almost fainted. I was so shocked. And she interviewed me about the things that happened and why her book hit me so much. So that video, there's a video interview on my website, manifestfaster.com. You can check it out. There's a video in the About Catherine that explains how that all happened. But at any rate, ever since 2016, when that book came out, I've had people find my website because she put my website in her book. She's not my friend. It was just one of those crazy manifestations. So I learned that money can come from everywhere. One year, 2016, I had a car note I had to pay every month, and December of that year was a tough one for me. Oh no, it was 2015. It was a very tough year for me. And December, my car note company sent me a note that said, you do not have to pay your car note this month. Merry Christmas. We'll just add it on to the end with no charge. Not kidding. Also, what happened in November of that year, I got an insurance settlement of $500, and the note was, I didn't know what it was for. My first thing was I should send it back because it may not be right, but I thought, heck no, that came to me with my name on it. Okay, so definitely check out Thank and Grow Rich. It's a great book. It's got story upon story about how gratitude changes your life. And I mean, somebody gave me a free cruise and then came back and gave me another. I mean, I've had free cruises. Again, the whole story is on my website. You can hear it there. But that's why I'm here. I can't predict what good's going to happen for you guys who are watching me, but I can just share what I did. And also, the cards do have messages. Samantha, thank you for listening to me rant on. I promise I won't do that too much. Samantha, absolutely. Do you have a question? Or I can just do a general energy selfie and see what the universe has for you today. Peaches, I think you'd really enjoy looking into Pam Grout, so check that out. Oh, you're welcome. I love sharing the stories. I mean, somebody gave me a hot air balloon ride. I'm not even kidding. It was a bucket list thing, and they decided they wanted to send me on it, right? There's a story there, of course, but that was super fun and very exciting. Okay, Samantha, love. What's ahead in love? Okay, I'm going to turn the cards around for you, Samantha. Are y'all having fun? I hope so. If you are, hit the thumbs up, please, because that helps YouTube let people know that we like doing readings together. I have a few more minutes. I'm going to be here a few more minutes, so anybody that pops in, absolutely, I'd love to do a card. These have been all shuffled and prayed over before we started. So Samantha, here's your card, and it's about love. Okay, this is again a same thing that happened with our cards earlier. This already showed up in the read for me today. This card actually flung itself out of the deck when I was shuffling an hour or so ago. So this is for you for sure, Samantha. No accident. So there's somebody in your past who cares so deeply about you. And this particular ancestor of yours, this is somebody who's already passed, and they are a guide for you, Samantha, aren't they? You may know exactly who I'm talking about. But what's happening right now is, if you look around, can you see, it looks like there's snow on the ground, and yet there's green, which really fits with a late spring snowstorm. And late spring snowstorms are very mysterious because there's been so much growth, green, and yet the snow has covered it. It only will last for a very short time. So what this is showing me is that you're in a little bit of a freeze right now, that your love manifesting, it's in a plateau. You know how you can have a plateau when you're trying to lose weight and you can never make any progress? So I'm seeing here that you're kind of stuck. There's something holding you in place, and it has to do with some pain in your past. There's either been a breakup, an ex, or even a family member who's betrayed you. And you've had to stand on a little island of, this is my world, I'm going to take care of myself, and you haven't known how to let somebody into your little island. Okay, so this lack of self-confidence probably stretches out to the rest of your world too. You may be a shy person or someone that prefers your own company, so it's been a little difficult for you to reach out and be with people. But now is the time. Everything is thawing around you. I don't know what's happening for you, Samantha, but this might be a time to consider a private reading when I could pull a lot more cards and, be able to help you understand where you are in this thaw. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, I would definitely visit that website called breakupcandy.com, because there's even a quiz on that website that will help you understand your love style, and that might give you some wisdom, okay? I wish you the best. And your ancestor who is there cheering you on from the other side, because some of the issues that we face when it comes to love, some of the issues around trusting and allowing yourself to be with someone, can be connected to your growing up years. It could be connected to how you watched people in relationship when you were young. And a lot of times when you get your very first crush on someone, the energy of that is so strong, it can capture you in a way and hold you tight. And all of a sudden you find yourself older and you don't have a partner, and you're like, what happened? How did that happen? Okay, I hope that's helpful. Anybody else here? I've got just a few, maybe 15 more minutes. Or anybody who's here have another question? Don't you love this deck? If y'all are familiar with the regular Rider-Waite deck, that's the one I use. I use all kinds of decks. and I and never know which exact one I'm going to pull out. But am I going to complete my studies to the end? I'm at university in the 5th semester. Okay. All right. So let's take a breath. Okay, and another breath. Okay. So when you are studying something, there's two things to consider in. Number one is what you're studying, the topic, and the second thing is your learning style. Because if you are fascinated by your topic and or your skill that you're learning and you love it, you can work around your boredom with the parts. You can work around the parts of school that are not that great because you love the topic. So when I look at your question, I'm so curious. I'm like, it makes me wonder, are you fascinated enough, or is it a learning style issue? Because sometimes the professors have a struggle to get the point across to you. So I'm going to draw a card now, and we'll see what the tarot has for you. I see you, Annaya. Beautiful name that you have. And we're asking about a reconciliation. So yes, I'll get to that in a moment. And okay. Ooh, okay. Excellent. Okay, this fits exactly with that little part that I told you. Notice how the priestess, this is the high priestess card. So this is about your intuition. Nobody can tell you what's in your best interest except you. Now, I'm assuming that you're a younger person because you're in university, but you could be 40 years old and be in university, so I don't want to insult you. But as a younger person, it's important that you understand that your ability to interpret your intuition will not be fully developed until you're probably 25 or 26 years old. The human brain does not finish developing the executive function, which is the part of you that really knows the best decisions for you, until you're in your mid-20s. And that can be difficult for students because they have to make the decision for their whole career before they're even fully equipped. However, pleasure and fascination and curiosity are all instincts, okay? Pleasure, fascination, and curiosity are instincts. So they are underneath the intelligence, okay? So if something is so excruciatingly boring that you can't take it, your intuition would guide you to a different course of study. At this point, if it doesn't fascinate you, then I would talk to the career counselors available at university, and I would begin to investigate. If it fascinates you, then you are absolutely on the right track. The more education you have, the better, just so that when you're finished with university, you have lots of hiring potential. All right. So again, this is something, if you need a private reading because you want more cards, definitely shoot me a message. Okay. So I would say that in answer to your question, I feel this is a personality that loves to be in charge. This is a personality that wants to take control of their own life, speaking of you, and that you probably don't want to be bossed around or be told what to do. So again, use the instincts of curiosity and fascination to guide you. All right? I like that reading for you. I like it for me too. One of the reasons that I read cards, and you guys, I don't know if you realize, I do put out cards every day for the collective on just how to support manifesting with the cards. And so help yourself over there. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And I appreciate comments, questions, then I can conduct readings that meet your needs. Anyway, so let's see, hang on, let me just think. All right, Annaya, love reconciliation. All right, so again, without knowing what is going on here, there are two ways to look at breakups. One is that it is a good thing. I've been through some where, as painful as they were, it was a good thing. And a reconciliation would not have been the highest and best for both of us. Okay. I've also been through reconciliations that were really beautiful. So I'm seeing this as a fork in the road time for you. When can you trust the universe to give a solution that's in the highest and best of everyone or not? All right, so take a breath. The last card, Annaya, this card about the high priestess, I'm glad you were here to hear that card, because in a way, I think part of this message would resonate with you. You know, like a fork in the road and stepping into something new. It strikes me that if you would reconcile, it would not be like it was before. I'm getting a strong impulse that if there was a reconciliation, something would have had to change. Okay, so let's see. Six of Earth. Okay, so yes, I believe that this card supports that. Look in the, okay, I like this card. Let's just take a second and look at it. The very first thing that I saw was these little lizards that are all approaching the water hole in the desert. But as I waited, I became aware of this figure up here, the adult and all the babies. So, Annaya, this is my card of breadcrumbing. Do you know what breadcrumbing is? And that if this is off, you can let me know. But breadcrumbing, I just found out relatively recently, is when someone is in your life that has broken up with you and they give you a little hope, a little drop of water in the desert, just enough to keep you thinking they're going to reconcile. Could this be true, Annaya? And this doesn't mean that the person is evil or has bad intent, but you're available to them. And so when they're lonely or when they just feel like, well, maybe I made a mistake, they may reach out, but there's no real depth to it. So this card is very clear that it's been a dry time. And it's because I don't know your situation, just flying by one card here. But what I would do is turn your back to this situation and work at developing something within yourself. If there is a hobby, a musical instrument, or are you an artist or a writer? Something that you did between the age of 13 and 20 for fun or just to get away. And just do that. Turn away from this whole situation. If this is supposed to be, it really needs to be in the hands of the divine, because it does look to me like there's a little codependency here and a little bit of manipulation. Okay. The cool thing is that these little lizards, the lizard is the animal of regeneration. Did you know that some lizards you can pull off their tail and it grows back? So it's a tale of strength and resilience. And it also shows that no matter how thirsty you are, you're going to find that sip of water. Okay. So I would say take care of you first. There's a lady online. She's not alive anymore. Her name is Louise Hay, and she has some beautiful meditations on the inner child. In fact, if you Google or YouTube search for inner child meditations, it could be really, really helpful for you and for everyone else on here. Another thing about manifesting love, there is a beautiful woman, I've mentioned her a couple times today. I feel like she's our sponsor, Life by Lucie, Lucie. She has so many videos of instructions on how to manifest more love and success into your life. Her meditations are hypnotic. She's a British woman and I love her accent being an American, but there's so much love in her voice. It just brings healing every time I listen to it. So again, Annaya, my heart goes out to you. Please email me if you want to contact me. There's information in the description box, okay? Okay, I have a couple more minutes left. Anybody else want to shoot me a question? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for hitting the thumbs up and the subscribe. I will be coming on live whenever I feel like it. It's my fish out of water temperament. I love spontaneity, and I mean, planning's important. I get that, but I do like to pop on. If there's a time, is there a time of day that's best for you for lives? If you've been here for a while, put your time zone. That would help me because I would love to be more available at time zones all over the world because I know I have fans all over the world. So, oh, by the way, I want to thank you all so much. My subscriptions are growing so quickly. I'm thrilled. I just turned over 13,000 and it just seems yesterday I had 500. Well, it was 2 years ago, but thank you so much to each and every one of you. I wish there was a way I could reach through and give you a big hug. Wait, adjust. Because I do love y'all. I mean, honestly, when you tell me what's going on in your life, when you write me the emails and when you ask for specific questions like you do, what do you think about, what do the cards say about reconciliation? What do the cards say about this, that, or the other thing? And it's very, very fulfilling for me and everyone that tunes in. Okay, so I'm going to draw one last card for the collective and for those of you who are here. Let's ask one question about career and money because today has been mostly about love. So let's ask one. I'll cut the cards for our last card of the day. And I will draw one from the middle for career and money and see what the universe has for us. And thank you for being with me today. Wisdom Keeper. Beautiful. Let's take a look. There's an author somewhere that says, all the great lessons of life I learned from my dog. That's what strikes me first. When I look at this card, thinking about money and career, what I'm seeing is the incredible importance about taking time to seek your guidance. If you're a religious person, it might be in the holy book of your religion. If you are a metaphysical person, it might be through yoga or meditation. If you are a nature-spirited person, it might be in the woods. But when it comes to building confidence for yourself in this next few months, let's take the next 90 days, taking time to really look inside. Where is your level of life satisfaction? Pam Grout, my hero, says, if it's not fun, it's not sustainable. I love the dog spirit that's here because I'm single and I tease about my dogs being my soulmates. They never are snarky. They're always glad when I come home. They encourage me to get enough exercise. They encourage me not to give up. They are fulfillment machines. And so I think what they bring to us today is the message of rest and play. You can't stop a dog that wants to play, and you can't stop a dog that wants to rest. You can't stop you once you're fully equipped. You can't stop you once you know who you really are. You can't stop you once you discover the key of peace of mind. And once you can turn on peace of mind whenever you want to, calm on command, the rest is easy. I'm not kidding. I've been doing this many, many, many years now, many decades, and I know what I know and the truth of what is possible for us. And so with that, I just thank you from the bottom of my heart. I love, love, love doing these readings. I learn a lot. It will be posted shortly, so if you want to come back and re-listen to your reading, please feel free to do that. On my website, the best way to use my tarot channel is hit the shorts tab and then just scroll through all those. There's 1,600 videos I know I'm a little bit of an overachiever, but just scroll through and just stop it and hit any of them. And as you do, be delighted and entertained when the reading you pick happens to be exactly what you need to hear. And then do leave me a comment. I do my best to read all the comments, but there's so many now. I know I miss a lot of them. And do email me with your wins and your frustrations because it helps me know how to sharpen my readings to be even more resonant for you personally. So go forth and prosper, my dear friends, and I'll see you at the next reading. Bye.